just thought to do a quick video on sleepovers. Sleepover or no sleepover, and are there any exceptions? So my name is Chioma Moma, and if you're new here, welcome. It's great to see you. If you've been here before, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe. And what I do is I share tips for us working parents, just things we can talk about to help us as we do all the things we do, earn a living, fulfill our purpose, and raise amazing children. So sleepover is something that comes up a lot, especially at this time of the year. This is the summer holidays, a very long holiday. People are sending children off to grandma and grandpa. Children want to do sleepover, party, sleepover, all sorts of things. So it's always a hot topic. And a lot of people have different stances on it. Some people are like 100% no. Some people are like, yes, it's fine. While someone like me, I'm not in the middle. I'm like, there are exceptions, okay? So personally, for me, I do not encourage sleepovers. I do not encourage them, and I prefer if the person is coming to my house, generally. Unless I am sure I've gotten to that place where I have formed, I know the family very well, I know your value system very well, and yes, those are the times where I'm like, okay, that's fine. But generally, we have a no sleepover rule. That's the general rule. And like if you're a lawyer like me, every general rule usually has an exception. So those are some exceptions where it happens. So usually it's a situation where, for instance, close family friend, close family, you know the value system, you know what goes on in that house, you know that in this house this is allowed, in that house that is allowed, so even when my child is there, and there are no guarantees, trust me, even when you think there are no guarantees, but for the most part, you're like, even if my child is in this house, I know what's going on, I know what they do, I know the kind of movies they watch and all that. So that's really is it. So generally, if you come to me and say, I want to go and do sleepover party, I'll say, no, you're not going. You can go, I'll pick you at night, no wahala. Not because I don't trust the parent, but because we haven't gotten to that point where I understand, I know, what happens at a point, how careful you may or may not be. And I'm not, like I said, it doesn't mean I'm judging anyone. Maybe we just haven't gotten that close at all. So generally, I'm not a fan of sleepovers. And why? Because so many things happen. Sometimes some children have gone to a sleepover, they watch a scary movie. Maybe in that house, scary movies are not a big deal. Or they watch some content they should not be watching. I have homes where I see underage children, Big Brother is fine, underage children, above 18 movies is fine, underage, I'm talking about children who are 6, 7, anything is okay. We don't, it's not a big deal. I've been to visit someone, and they were doing some heavy content on TV, and somebody was like, oh, put this up, there's a child there, and they're like, as if you draw attention to it, that they'll make it a big deal. It's not a big deal. This was serious, heavy sexual content. I was like, even me as an adult, I could not watch it, so I was like, for me, immediately, that was a red flag for me, for that particular person, that my child is not going to come to your house, because obviously in your house, they can watch anything. That is your own, you believe is okay. So generally, the general rule is no sleepovers, but like I said, there are exceptions. And no sleepover is there are no exceptions when they are very young, I don't think, because when they're very young, more things can happen. They are more at risk. They can't speak up for themselves. They don't know how to defend themselves. But as they get older, because sometimes let's face it, that sometimes things do happen. Maybe you need to travel. You're a mom and dad. There's this honeymoon trip you've been planning, and the child has to go and stay somewhere. Would they stay on the road? Or you go and put them in a hotel. So you have, at that point, you're going to say, okay, you know what? We're going to for a few days. You're going to do sleepover with a trusted family friend or trusted family. And like I said, because you've been close to them, you've formed that bond, you know their value system, and you're like, I know in this house, by God's grace, this child is going to be looked after the way I will look after my child, okay? And everything will be fine. Like I said, you can't even be 100% sure. A lot of people who have been abused or molested or touched, it is by family. That is the truth. Stranger danger is not really a thing. It shouldn't be that much of a thing, because the truth is that more danger comes from people that children are familiar with. Those are the statistics out there. So that's me. What are your views on sleepover? So this is my view. This is what I generally do. I'm generally a no sleepover. I prefer when the children come to my house. I know I will just be all hands on deck. And I believe most parents are like that. When the children are in your house, it's all hands on deck, everything. But as they get older, sometimes you've trained them well, you've taught them what to do, how to defend themselves. Yeah, it might be okay to allow them to have those opportunities, but with a lot of caution. Let me tell you a story, not to scare you, but to tell you why it's so important to form a bond with your children, to be very careful and censor where they go to, because for some, there'll be some very, very bad cases. There's this particular case, I think it happened last year in the US. Single dad, his daughter's birthday, sleepover with her friends, very responsible looking man. So he took his friends over, his daughter's friends over. And one of the daughter's friends had a phone with her, because like I said, I think that's so important. If your child is a certain age and you're going to start, they're going to be in someone's house, they should have a device to be able to contact you at any time. So obviously the mother had given her some instructions, and she sent her mother a message crying for help, saying, "Mom, something is going on. I don't know what's wrong, but after I had a drink in this house, I can't even stay awake. Please come and get me. Even if they say I'm sleeping, please get me. I do not feel safe." Also, trust your children. Teach your children how to know when they don't feel safe. They should be able to speak and say, "I am not comfortable in a situation." That was what that child did. She sent her mother a message and she fell asleep promptly after, because guess what? The father of the child that invited them had drugged all their drinks. All of them. So they were all drugged. So that child's mother saw the message that her daughter had sent, crying for help, and she came there and said, "Oh, I came to pick up my daughter." And the man said, "No, they are sleeping, no, they are fine." So I want to pick her up. She said, "No, it's okay, come tomorrow, come in the morning, that they are already sleeping." She said, "It is my child, I want to pick her up." And at that point, the man had no choice, released that child. By the time she picked her child up, so that this girl had been drugged, alerted the other parents. This man was arrested, he was picked up, he had drugged these children's drinks. Only heaven knows what the man had planned to do to those girls. If that child had not alerted, that one child, I think it was either one or two children, that alerted their parents and they came to help them. So please, there's so many lessons here. Equip your children, teach them how to reach out to you, have that bond and that connection with them, so they can feel free to talk to you at any time. To say, "Mommy, I need you, even if it's 1 a.m, come and help me," okay? Or, "Dad, I need you, come and help me." All right, so that's my talk for today. I hope you learned something, and I look forward to seeing your comments. Take care. Bye.